This episode is an ESL listening practice for intermediate learners. You will hear a natural conversation with clear pronunciation and everyday English. No tests, no pressure, just listening. Let's start.
Welcome to ESL Listening Practice. I am your host, and I am absolutely thrilled to be here with you today.
And I'm thrilled to be here too.
We're going to be your guides on this journey toward mastering English fluency. And we have a really, really special session lined up for you.
We do.
You know, when we talk about learning English, we so often focus on the big things, complex tenses, these huge vocabulary lists, perfecting an accent.
All the flashy stuff.
Exactly. But today, we're going to pivot. We're going to look at the tiny things,
Wow.
The things that drive even the most advanced learners, absolutely crazy.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
And you are so completely right. It's fascinating because I work with students who are at that intermediate B2 level or, even advanced C1.
Right.
They can discuss politics, philosophy, engineering with this incredible sophistication. But then they trip over three tiny words, a, and the may.
The little words. It is always the little ones that get you. It is so frustrating. You feel like you've conquered this mountain, the whole English language, but you still find yourself hesitating. Do I say, I bought car? Or, I bought a car?
Right.
Or, she went to hospital? Or should it be, she went to the hospital?
Exactly. And that's the problem, isn't it? To a native speaker's ear, those mistakes, missing the article or using the wrong one, they just sound
off. Yeah, that's the word.
It's not just a grammar mistake in a textbook. It feels incomplete. When someone says, I bought car, my brain is literally waiting for more information. It feels like a hiccup in the rhythm of the sentence.
A hiccup. That is such a good way to describe it. It just sort of stumbles.
It does.
And I think for a lot of our listeners, the frustration comes from the fact that these rules feel so random. Like, why? Why do we do it this way? It feels like you just have to memorize a million exceptions.
And that's the myth we want to bust today. It's not random at all. That is the absolute key. Today isn't about memorizing boring grammar charts or, long lists of exceptions.
Thank goodness.
It's about understanding the simple logic behind the grammar. There's a system. And once you understand that system, the why behind the choices, you can stop guessing and you can start knowing. We are going to fix this problem once and for all.
I love that. Moving from guessing to knowing. That is the goal. So let's dive right into the first big bucket of this topic, the logic of a and an. I feel like this is where it all has to start.
It really does. This is the absolute foundation. If you get this right, everything else starts to click into place.
Okay.
So we call this the first mention rule. This is the core function of using what we call the indefinite articles a and an. You use them when you're introducing something new into the conversation.
Okay, so new is the key word here. It's the first time I'm hearing about it.
Precisely. Think about it from the listener's perspective for a second. Communication is a two-way street. When you're speaking, you have a picture in your head. But the listener, they can't see inside your mind. So when you use the word a, you're essentially signaling to the listener, hey, pay attention. I am introducing a new object or a new person to you. You don't know this specific one yet.
That is a really helpful visualization. It's like you're raising a little flag that says new information coming.
It is.
So if I say, I saw a dog in the street, I am basically telling you that up until this exact moment, that specific dog did not exist in our shared reality, in our conversation.
That is it. You've nailed it. I saw a dog. It is completely non-specific to the listener at that moment. It's just one dog out of the millions and millions of dogs in the world.
Right.
You aren't talking about your dog or the dog we saw yesterday. You are plucking a new character out of the universe and placing it onto the stage of our conversation.
I like that, placing it on the stage. And this applies to anything, right? Not just dogs.
Anything countable, yes.
Yep.
A single countable thing. Take the example. She bought an apartment. So before you said that sentence, I didn't know she was looking for one, or, maybe I didn't know she'd found one. You were telling me, here is a new fact. An apartment has been purchased. It's singular, and it's the very first time we're discussing it in this specific context.
It's about setting the scene. It's like the opening line of a story, in a way.
It is, in a miniature sense.
Okay. Now, sticking with a and an, we absolutely have to talk about the mechanics, because knowing when to use them is one thing, but knowing which one to use is where people get tripped up on the pronunciation.
Oh, for sure. This is the sound rule, and I cannot stress this enough. It is about sound, not spelling. not the letters you see.
Okay, that's a big distinction.
It is. We're all taught in school that the vowels are A, B, I, O, U.
Yeah.
And that is true for spelling. But for speaking, for fluency, we only care about vowel sounds.
Right, because our goal is flow. We want the language to sound smooth and connected, not choppy.
Exactly. I want you to try saying a apple. Just say it out loud.
A apple. A apple. It is choppy. You have to kind of stop your voice between the two words to start the A sound of apple. It's, what's it called? A glottal stop.
That's the technical term, yes. And English speakers, we hate doing that. We are lazy. We want to link words together smoothly. So to avoid that stop, we insert the N sound, an apple, an idea. It creates a bridge. It allows you to just slide from one word to the next without stopping your breath.
It's like a lubricant for the sentence, just helps everything glide along.
That is a perfect analogy. And this, of course, brings us to the classic trick question that catches so many students, the word hour, H-O-U-R.
Oh, yes. The tricky H, because H is a consonant, right? So visually, your brain wants you to say a hour, but that is wrong.
It is incorrect, and it's incorrect because in the word hour, the H is silent. We don't pronounce it. We don't say hour. We just say hour. So the word actually starts with a vowel sound. Ow. So to keep that smooth bridge we were just talking about, we have to use an hour.
I will be there in an hour. It just flows, doesn't it? Whereas I will be there in an hour sounds like you're hiccuping again.
Exactly that same hiccup. So the rule is simple. Ignore the spelling. Close your eyes and listen to the very first sound of the word. If it's a vowel sound, you use an. If it's a consonant sound, you use a.
Simple, logical, and practical.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have established the first mention rule. We've introduced our new thing, our dog, our apartment, our apple. But, conversations don't just stop there. We keep talking about these things. So how do we make that transition?
And that's the perfect question. This is where we move into the second part of our system, the logic of the. We are shifting from introducing new things to talking about known things. This is what we can call the second mention rule.
I love the narrative flow of this. It's like a story.
Right.
So walk us through the example.
Let's go back to your dog. You start by saying, I saw a dog.
Right. First mention, new information for you. Check.
Check. But now that dog is on the stage. We both know about it. It is part of our shared reality now.
So in the very next sentence, you can't say a dog again because it's no longer just any random dog in the world. It's that specific dog, the one we're talking about. So you say, the dog was very friendly. It's like you're pointing a finger and telling the listener, you know which one I'm talking about. It's specific. It's defined.
And this concept of shared knowledge is really the secret sauce of the, isn't it? It's not just about the second mention in a sentence. It's about this bigger idea of what we both know.
That is the broader, more powerful criteria. You use the when both people in the conversation know what you mean. It could be because you just mentioned it, as with the dog. Or it could be because of the immediate environment. This is what we call contextual uniqueness.
Contextual uniqueness. Okay, that sounds a little fancy, but I have a feeling it's actually really common. Give us an example.
It's happening all the time. Imagine we're sitting in a room right now. The door is open. I look at you and I say, close the door, please.
Right. I wouldn't say, which door, because there's usually only one main door to a room we're in. We both know which one.
Exactly. In the context of our room, that door is unique. We share the knowledge of which door it is. If I said, close a door, you would look at me like I was crazy.
Yeah, be confused.
You'd think, any door, anywhere in the world. What are you talking about?
That's a funny image. Me just running around the city, closing random doors. So the 4E anchors us in our immediate shared reality.
It does. And this concept extends even further to things that are universally unique. Things that we all share as human beings on this planet. For example, the sun is bright today.
Ah, of course. There's only one sun in our solar system.
Right. We don't say a sun is bright because we aren't selecting one sun from a galaxy of possible suns. We're talking about our sun, the one we all know. The same goes for the moon, the sky, the world. These are all part of our shared human knowledge.
So if the listener can identify exactly which thing you're talking about, either because you just said it, or because it's right there in the room, or because there's only one of them in the universe, you use the.
That's the golden rule.
Yeah.
Specificity equals the. If you can point to it, even mentally, it gets the.
Okay, this is making so much sense. So we have and for new things, the first mention. We have the for specific things, the things we both know about. But then there's this third category that I think really scares people. The zero article. When do we use nothing at all?
This is often where B2 learners and even more advanced learners start to overthink things. They get so used to putting the or a in front of every noun that they feel, I don't know, naked without it.
Yeah, it feels wrong to leave it empty.
But the zero article has a very important job, a very specific function.
Yeah.
It is used for generalizations.
Generalizations. So when we're talking about things as a whole category, not one specific thing.
Precisely. When we're talking about all things of a certain type or the concept in general, we drop the article. Let's look at plurals first. This is a very, very common mistake.
Okay, let's use our dog example again. How would that work?
Perfect. If I want to say that generally speaking, the species of animal known as dog is friendly, I say, dogs are friendly.
Now, if I say the dogs are friendly, what am I saying? What's the difference?
If you say the dogs, you're talking about specific dogs, maybe the dogs in your house or the ones we're looking at the park right now, a specific group.
Exactly. The dogs limits the group. It puts a fence around them and says, these ones right here.
Yeah.
But dogs, with no article, implies all dogs everywhere as a general rule.
Wow, that is a huge distinction in meaning from just one tiny word. Dogs are friendly is a statement about the species. The dogs are friendly is an observation about a specific group. And this same logic applies to abstract concepts. This is where it gets really kind of philosophical and beautiful. And when we talk about big ideas, life, love, money, happiness, we usually mean the concept in general.
So we would say life is beautiful, not the life is beautiful.
Correct. Life is beautiful. We're talking about the entire universal experience of existence. If you say the life, it sounds very strange, unless you're talking about a specific life, like the life of Napoleon was difficult. But the concept itself, no article.
Or another one, money. We say money is important.
Yes, not the money is important. Now, if you say the money is important, it sounds like you're pointing to a specific pile of cash on the table. Don't lose that bag. The money is important.
Right, that's specific money.
But the economic concept as a whole, just money.
So the big takeaway here is, if you mean every instance of something or the concept as a whole, you should leave the article out. Don't clutter the sentence. Be confident in the emptiness.
Less is more when you are generalizing. That's the rule.
Okay, this is so clear. I want to move on to a section that I think is really practical for daily life because it's not always so philosophical. We have these fixed phrases, places we go to all the time. The bank, the cinema, the hospital, and the rules here seem a little more rigid.
They are. And that's actually a good thing for learners. These are what we can call the go-to places. There's a specific, pretty short list of places in English that almost always take the when we talk about them in a daily context.
What's on the list?
The main ones are the bank, the cinema, the hospital, the airport, and the internet.
Okay. And there's a nuance here, isn't there? Because when I say she went to the bank, you and I might not know specifically which branch she went to. I don't know if she went to the one on Main Street or the one on Broad Street, but I still use the. Why is that?
That is a fascinating and excellent point. In this case, the bank doesn't necessarily refer to the specific building made of bricks and glass. It refers to the institution. It refers to the service. She went to the bank means she went and interact with the banking system. It's the same logic for the cinema. If I say, we went to the cinema last night, it doesn't really matter which specific theater complex we went to. It means we went to see a movie. We participated in that cultural activity.
That makes a lot of sense. And we have to highlight a major correction here based on the common errors we see. A very common one is saying, she went to hospital.
To an American or standard English ear, it sounds very broken to say, she went to hospital. It feels incomplete, like our I bought car example from earlier. The correct form we are teaching here is, she went to the hospital.
Right. And it's interesting because in British English, you might actually hear she went to hospital sometimes, especially from older speakers. But for the purpose of clear, standard international English and to fix that specific pattern of error, we need to stick to the hospital.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For learners, it's safer and clearer to just learn the standard structure. Think of the hospital, just like the airport. You would never say, I am going to airport.
No.
Say, I'm going to the airport. It's a functional destination in society.
And the internet is another one of those big ones.
Yes. We always search for things on the internet. It's treated as a unique, singular, shared space.
So for these daily service places, bank, hospital, airport, cinema, internet, just lock it in your brain. Use the...
Correct. It's a reliable shortcut.
Now let's zoom out. Way, way out. Let's look at the world map. Geography. This is a total minefield for learners. When do we put the buyer in front of a country or a river or a mountain range?
It can feel like a minefield, but just like before, there are patterns. We can divide the map into two main groups.
Yeah.
The group and the no article group.
Okay, I'm ready. Take us on a tour of the group first. What gets the?
Okay, first up, bodies of water. Specifically rivers, seas, and oceans. We almost always use the Nile River, the Amazon, the Mediterranean Sea, the Atlantic Ocean.
Why do you think that is? Is it just because they're unique and huge?
That's part of it, but it's just a very strong naming convention in English for features of the landscape like that. But the more interesting and tricky rule is about countries.
Right.
Generally, most countries do not take an article.
Yeah.
But there's a huge exception, what we can call compound countries.
Compound country. Okay, what do you mean by that? Countries that are made up of smaller parts.
Exactly. Just look at the names themselves. The USA, what does it stand for? The United States of America. The name itself tells you it's a collection of states.
So because it's states, plural, it gets a the.
Yes. Or look at the UK, the United Kingdom. It's a kingdom made up of multiple countries.
So because the name is a description of its structure, a united group, a republic, a kingdom, an emirates, we use the.
That's the pattern. If the name is a description of the political structure, like the Soviet Union, the Czech Republic, the United Arab Emirates, it almost always gets a the. Same for mountain ranges, which are plural, like the Alps or the Andes.
Okay, that's a great rule. But what about the other group, the no article group?
That's almost everyone else. Most countries that have a single proper name stand alone. Their name is just a name, not a description. France, Germany, Japan, Brazil, Mexico.
So saying the France is a major, major mistake.
It's a massive error. It sounds very foreign to a native speaker's ear. You would never say, I am going to the France for vacation. It's just, I am going to France.
Okay, so to recap, singular proper names like France, Spain, Italy, no article. Collections and descriptions like the USA, the UK, the Philippines use the.
That is the most reliable rule of thumb you can use.
This has been such a clear breakdown of the logic. But we know, and our listeners know, that understanding the logic is only half the battle.
It's just the start.
The other half is getting your brain to do it automatically without thinking. You can't be in the middle of a conversation, pause for 5 seconds and think, wait, is this a first mention or a second mention? Is it a generalization? You have to just feel it.
That is the absolute challenge of fluency, isn't it?
Yeah.
It needs to move from the conscious analytical part of your mind to the subconscious automatic part.
So we need a way to practice this. Something actionable, something you can do without a textbook, without a classroom. What is the trick?
I love this method. It's so simple. I call it the one object method. It's a game you can play with yourself anywhere, anytime. On the bus, in your kitchen, at your desk.
Okay, the one object method. How does it work?
Step 1. Look around you right now. Pick an object, any object, let's say. That microphone in front of you.
Okay, I'm looking at the microphone. Got it.
Now label it as if you are seeing it for the first time in your life. As if you're introducing it to me. Use A.
A microphone.
Good. Now, immediately, in the next second, switch your mental frame. You've introduced it. We both know about it now, so acknowledge it as specific. Use the.
The microphone.
Exactly. A microphone. The microphone. Do it with the table.
A table. The table. Hey, I see.
A window. The window. You are physically training your brain to feel that switch from indefinite to definite. But then to really lock it in, you move to step 2.
Okay, what's step 2?
You build a tiny narrative. A 2-sentence story.
A story. Okay, I can do that.
Sentence 1. Introduce the object. That's your first mention with a or an. Sentence 2. Describe the object. That's your second mention with the.
Okay, let me try. I'm looking at my phone. So, I bought a phone.
Perfect. Brand new information. A phone.
Sentence 2. The phone is very fast.
Boom. You've nailed it. I bought a phone. The phone is very fast. You naturally and correctly switched from a to the. It's a perfect little story.
I can really see how doing this repeatedly would work. You're creating a little mental loop. I see a car. The car is red. I ate an apple. The apple was sweet.
Exactly. If you just do this 5 times a day randomly while you're waiting for the bus or making coffee, you will start to internalize the rhythm of it. You won't have to think about the rules anymore. Your brain will just expect the E to follow A in a story. It becomes automatic.
That is fantastic practical advice. It turns the whole world into your personal classroom.
And that is truly the best way to learn a language. By living in it.
So let's wrap this up with a big summary. We've covered a lot of ground, but when you boil it all down, it really comes back to 3 big, simple ideas.
The big 3. If you remember nothing else from today, just remember these 3 icons in your mind.
Okay, number 1, the new icon. What's that?
New equals a or an. If you are introducing it for the first time, you keep it indefinite.
Got it. Number 2, the target icon.
A specific equals the. If we both know which one it is, you point to it with the.
And finally, number 3, the globe icon.
General equals no article. If you mean everything of that type or the concept as a whole, you leave it blank.
New is A, specific is the, general is 0. It's that simple.
It really is that logical. Articles are not random chaos. They are a code. And once you crack the code, once you start thinking in terms of new versus known and specific versus general, the mistakes just standoffs. They just start to disappear on their own.
It has been so enlightening to unpack this. I feel like I'm going to be paying attention to every single the and a that I say for the rest of the day now.
And that's a good thing. That awareness is the first and most important step to mastery.
Thank you so much for breaking this down for us. And to our listeners, seriously, don't just close this audio and forget about it. Try the object game. Look at something in your room right now. Say a, whatever. Then say the, whatever. Start building that habit immediately.
Absolutely. Good luck with your practice. You can do this, I promise.
Thanks for listening to ESL Listening Practice. We will see you in the next session.
Goodbye, everyone.